Hello friends and welcome to Figure Study, where my apologies if you thought I was winding down with the Tobot stuff, because I am not even close. In fact, 3 more things showed up today, so this is going to be a part of the channel for a while for the foreseeable future. And today, we're going to be taking a look at Tobot W, specifically Tobot W the Shield On version. Whatever that means, I don't know. Best I can figure is you have the regular release of some figures like Tobot W or Tobot Evolution Y, and I do have Tobot Evolution Y Shield On version. So essentially, you've got the base version, and then you've got the Shield On version. The Shield On version is sort of like a alternate color scheme that I think is supposed to be like a powered-up version, maybe, but I've never seen the show, as I've said before. And it tends to come with some kind of accessory that includes like a sound box or lights or whatever. Now, this does not come with, this did not come with any accessories because I got this used off of eBay, so it was just Tobot W Shield On version. No toe key, who cares? No sound box thing, no nothing. I do know that it was supposed to clip on the top here, and then could also clip on the back in robot mode, but other than that, that's all I know about it, and frankly, I don't really care. And the toe key, again, who cares? It's one of those things where the toe key is completely unnecessary for the transformation, so it would just be sitting in storage anyway if I actually got it. This guy also came with a sticker sheet, or supposed to come with a sticker sheet, but again, used nothing extraneous that came with it, so no stickers, which is fine. I mean, I probably wouldn't be putting any stickers on this guy anyway, except maybe putting the Kia logo on the front there. You can kind of sort of see me in the reflection. Woo! But yeah, there's a weird couple of reasons why I wanted to go with Tobot W. And I will get into those mostly in robot mode, but this is one of the few Tobots, really one of the only Tobots, one of the only Korean transforming toys that I have that I guess you could say I took a chance on, and that is because I didn't really see much in the way of videos for this thing. Like, there are a handful, but they're from those toy channels where there's no speaking and they just, ham-fist the toys as awkwardly as humanly possible for 10 minutes, transforming them back and forth and watching them, like, collapse under their own weight. Those channels bug me. I'll probably do a separate vlog rant about that at some point, but regardless, never really saw any really decent videos on Tobot W, so I wasn't really sure what to expect. But this guy was used, good price, didn't care about the accessories anyway, and I thought the robot mode design was actually pretty interesting. And we will get into that when we get to the robot mode. As far as the vehicle mode goes, it's a Tobot. It's it's kind of a cartoony, slightly squished up, chibified, real-world-ish vehicle. I think this is based on a Kia something or other. Most of them are based on Kias, at least the earlier ones are. And this guy does have some of that early Tobot jank. Not to say that it's bad. It's, there's just like, there's a little bit of play in the ratchets here and there. Some of it's a little bit loose. Not like to a huge problem. It's not a huge detriment or anything like that. It's just there's a little bit of jank in things. And also, this guy has way too many lock-in points for the transformation. Like, getting everything lined up is kind of annoying. I managed to work my way through it, but like, just to give you an example, if I turn this guy over, pegging the arms in alone, you've got a clip under here, a peg that goes in here, and then a peg here that pegs into both of these sections of the door. And it's like, that is absurd how many lock-in points that one part of the arm has. And I'm definitely glad they simplified the engineering significantly in the future Tobot lines, because I don't think it's terrible. It's just this guy has a few too many nuances, I think, for something that's supposed to be a simple kid's toy. It's just, minor gripe. I don't dislike the figure or anything because of that. It's just, it's obvious that they hadn't quite refined the formula yet, let's put it that way. Anyway, Tobot W, as I said, is this squished up, cartoony looking Kia thing. The white and purple color scheme is weird, but it doesn't really bother me that much, and in a way, I think this works for me because I used to play a lot of Saints Row 2, and Saints Row is better than GTA. Fight me, I dare you. But I used to play a lot of Saints Row 2, and I always loved customizing the cars into the Saints colors, so I would usually do like either black and purple or white and purple, and so this kind of makes me think of that, which is just fun. Plus, it'd be kind of funny seeing like one of the, like the main character in Saints Row just trundling down the street in like this little boxcar thing. It's a cute car. And I do like the color separation here, even without the stickers. Like, you've got the translucent purple headlights, the chrome, not quite grill, but I guess grill. I think there's a sticker that's supposed to go there, but I don't have it. Little fog lights, I think, in the front there, at least designated sections for them. Silver on the rims, which is great. They actually painted the door handles this weird bluish purple color for some reason. I don't know why. Then you've got the color separation with the purple for the side mirrors, the black for the windows, the purple for the top. And then on the back, you've got further differentiated stuff with the clear or translucent purple for the brake lights and rear, reverse lights. And the tow key nonsense, which, who cares? But it's a nice little design element in the back of the car. And then you can see there's like a logo there and license plate there, but no stickers. It's a solid Kia-ish car, like Tobots tend to be. Rolls good, holds together good once you actually know how to put everything together, which is kind of a problem, but what are you going to do? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to move on to size comparisons. Here he is with Siege Hound, and surprising nobody, I'm sure, the car, even one as squished up and cute as this one, is massive compared to Hound. And I can't say it dwarfs the duck tank, but it's definitely larger than the duck tank. Alright, let's say we get this dude transformed. And as I said, there are a lot of locking points on this guy, so this will take a little bit of doing, but it'll get done. And as usual, I will be walking through the transformation on this, especially since I could barely find any typical videos on Tobot W specifically, let alone any in English. Also, there's a little scuff on the door there. That sucks, but got it used. Comes with the territory. Alright, so first thing, gonna split the back just to loosen that up. That's what the tow key would do, just split that, so that's pointless. Going to kind of unhook this, which is, it again takes some doing. Actually, we'll pull this up so that we can start separating out the doors. And with that pulled back, we should be able to disconnect. There we go. And there you can see the clip that the forearm pegs into. So, got that out of the way. Pull that up and out. Okay. And now we can separate this from the roof, which just unclips from up there. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. So, straighten out the leg and bring it forward a click. And the way this functions, there's actually it's hard to see, but there's like a little tab and slot back there that this will go into. It doesn't really lock into place, but it does kind of soft lock. So there's that. Fold down the heels. And these doors will come out and curl around like so. Like so. That is that. Alright, now this stuff. I'm going to just unpeg the windows from here. It's a little bit hard to see, but there's like a little clip right there that pegs into the door. Like I said, this thing is covered in locking points, and it's ridiculous. So with that out of the way, we can kind of yank, pull, flex, and twist until we can rotate. There we go. Rotate the door down like that. The best way I find to do it is to kind of pull this way because of that tab there. You kind of push in here and pull out down here while trying to spin it. And that usually gets it going. There we go. Okay. As I said, lots of stuff going on with this guy. Okay. Then fold the arms back because you want to get this tab out of the way, and that will also kind of peg in, lock in there. Same deal on this side. And you also need to move those out of the way because that will allow you to rotate these windows up. Not going to rotate them up all the way just yet. Next, we extend the torso. That's also a thing you got to do. Then disconnect the hood, and that will fold down and over in front of the face. And there is a little thing that'll clip into that clip there on the torso, on the stomach, whatever you want to call it. And we are almost there. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, we can rotate these the rest of the way up. And we can push the fists out, and there's actually a tab here and a tab here. So I find it's easiest to push both at the same time, because it gives you that even pressure to pull out the fist. So over here, there we go. Fold these doors over as far as they'll go. And in a basic sense, that is Tobot W. However, there's a little bit more going on here. Down here at the legs, we want to fold out these bits on the doors. And then there's a button back here that, when pressed, will deploy the wings. Yes, wings. And then we can fold down fold out the wings completely. And then this will fold back in on itself. And this part's kind of tight, so I kind of have to push down here. But it'll fold in, I'll click, and then these will clip into themselves on the back there. There we go. And that finally is Tobot W Shield On in robot mode. And actually, I do like the robot mode. I'm a little bit not quite disappointed. I don't think that's the right word for it. I wish that the wings stood out more. Like, when you view him from a bit more of an angle, you do kind of notice the wings more, but from a straight-on perspective, they just kind of get lost with all this stuff going on in the arms there, and that's a shame, because I think it's a neat feature. Granted, you can fold the wings up and clip them back, which I'll probably do before this video is over, but it would have been nice if they were a bit more pronounced or stood out otherwise, like with colors or something like that. Looking at the overall color scheme, the white and purple totally works here too. And now you've got more bits of black here and there. Definitely a better mixture of white and purple as well. It's not just like primarily white with a little bit of purple here and there. Here it's like a much more even distribution. You still have the giant white chest, but the arms are primarily purple. The legs have a good amount of purple. There's some purple in the waist. So yeah, and the head. So yeah, it's a better distribution of the color, I think. And he's got these big Mega Man boots. Always a fan of the Mega Man boots. The articulation's not super great. You've got the typical in and out at the thighs, forward, backward, knees bend. You don't get any thigh rotation, no bicep swivels. The arms can go out slightly, but only that one click that I used for the transformation before clicking him back in. So, not great. Though the head does rotate, there's that. But then again, as I've said, I view these things more like glorified Sentai toys, so the lack of articulation in certain areas doesn't really bug me. The thing that bugs me about this robot mode, like the wings are fine, they can be hidden away, they can be left out. It would be nice if they stuck out more, like I said, but the thing that particularly kind of disappoints me with this robot mode is just how broad the chest is. I feel like it would have been nice if this could just come in a little bit, like narrow in a little bit. And this bit here does open, and I'll show that off in a minute, but there's no real way to have that accordion in. It's designed to open up and come out, and that does not make him look any narrower. I almost feel like if this could rotate upside down, that would be better, because then you'd have the narrower bits down below. This kind of looks like it could be like a potbelly thing, which I am not against, but I feel like if that were the case, this would need to come down further. So yeah, the proportion in the chest is just a little bit off to me, and it's a little bit disappointing, but not a deal breaker. Another thing that I thought was kind of neat about this guy is it's a Tobot that totally has the Bumblebee aesthetic going with the the window wings behind the head on the shoulders there. That's just kind of fun to me. And rotating him around. Pretty clean back. You pretty much just have the hood, which is folded up on itself. And it reveals some detail, if you're into that. You got the wings, but that seems more like an intentional detail than kibble. And then you've got the wings. But these, I think I'm just going to fold up. So fold those up, click them back down, and now they're out of the way. The only problem with this is if you want to activate them, you have to pop this out because you can't really hit the button through this panel. So that's something to consider. And then just to keep it cohesive, I'm going to fold those in so that they're not sticking out. But yeah, even like the base non-flight mode or whatever it is still looks good for what it is. And I do like the doors folded around the shoulders, though I kind of wish that they folded around a little bit more. And they do seem to be more noticeably folded around the shoulders in the box art, which I think is from the cartoon itself. So, you know, would be nice, but toys do have their limitations. In terms of the detail, what's interesting about Tobot W is a lot of the detail is much more rounded than I'm used to seeing with most of the Tobots that I have. They tend to be a bit more angular. This guy kind of seems puffy, almost. Not necessarily in a bad way, it's just virtually, like, there are very few lines on this guy that I would call straight or have corners on them. Like, there's very few corners, yeah. Very few corners on this guy. Everything's kind of smoothed and rounded in some capacity. There are some corners, obviously, but again, they're just primarily things are kind of smoothed out. I don't know if that's a particular thing. I feel like some of the earlier Tobots still had angles. Maybe I'm just not familiar enough with it. I don't know, but it's an observation. As for that chest, this is a feature that I'm sure has some significance in the show. I do not care, and I feel like all it does is get in the way. But you can fold this out and open it up, and there you can see some human characters in the chest, and as you rotate this, they like disappear for some reason. I don't know. And it's fine. It's not like a, you know, oh, this is terrible kind of thing, but like just opening it up to reveal some children is just kind of blah to me. And I do wish that this chest could do something else, because all it does is make it wider. I feel like it'd be nicer if you could like angle these pieces or fold them around to make this a little bit less pronounced. But, you know, we work with what we're given. And finally, coming to the head. The head's pretty cool. It's, you know, nondescript, I guess, classic Tobot style in that there's no real face. It's just faceplate and visor. And as is the case with the older Tobot stuff, the shape of the helmet is actually designed to denote the letter that the Tobot is based off of, or named after, rather. So in this case, it makes a W. And it's also sort of stylistically mirrored in the top of the head there, where you've got the two bits and like the bit in the middle. It's a neat little design, though, and the head, in a way, is semi-reminiscent of Movie Bumblebee as well, just in the general design elements that they've gone with here. The faceplate comes up kind of like how he's got the little robo-pacifier. This kind of swept back bit, also somewhat reminiscent of the Movie Bumblebee helmet shape. I'm not saying that they were intending to do that, it just kind of hits similar beats. But it looks good, and I like the separation here too. That black stands out, but then you've got that light gray that shows just the barest hint of a possible like robot face behind the faceplate of the helmet. And then the orange going up here is just a nice little addition to add just a little bit more color to that head. And it's also there and on the waist where you see that orange, and like that's it. And now moving Tobot W Shield On version, of course, back so we can do some size comparisons. Here he is with Siege Hound, and as you would expect, he is quite a bit larger than Siege Hound. And again, you know, it's typical Tobot size. This guy is a little bit shorter than Terrical, but not by much. Anyway, Duck Tank. And that's gonna do it for Tobot W Shield On version. As I said, he's a neat robot. I wish that the wings could stand out more. Wish that the doors could come around the shoulders a little bit more. I wish that the chest could taper in a little bit more, but all in all, I'm glad I got him. Really, the main gripe I have about this guy is what I covered in the beginning, which is that there are way too many intricacies to that transformation. Too many locking points, too many things that need to be done in a specific order. Not a deal breaker by any means, but it is definitely something to be aware of. But that is going to do it. I hope this is informative to anyone who might be looking for any videos on Tobot W, because it is really hard to find videos for him. What do you all think? Am I just imagining the Bumblebee similarities, specifically the movie Bumblebee similarities, or might I be onto something? Have any of you out there even heard of Tobot W? Because, to be honest, while I'm far from a Tobot aficionado, I had never even heard of this thing, never knew it existed until just randomly finding it listed in the used category on eBay, so I feel like there've got to be other people who are familiar with Tobots who are just like, Tobot what now? And out of curiosity, if any of you are familiar with the regular Tobot W versus the Shield On version, the regular one being a blue and orange color scheme, which didn't really do it for me, which do you prefer? Do you prefer the blue and orange, or do you prefer the white and purple? Whatever your thoughts, feel free to chime in down below. I always enjoy hearing from you all, and while you're at it, also feel free to like or subscribe. Any of those things would make me a happy Rob. And remember, art is more than meets the eye.